The global economy is facing a crisis unlike anything we've ever seen before. National debts are reaching record levels. At the same time, real estate speculation is out of control, driving up property prices far beyond what most people can afford. What's more, this speculation is artificially inflating the prices of land and houses to levels far exceeding their true value. This dangerous combination is creating a perfect storm that threatens the economic well-being of families and societies worldwide. No country is immune, from Argentina to the United States, from Russia to Africa, from Japan to Bolivia. This speculative bubble isn't real wealth. All the money that banks are pumping in daily isn't going into production, but rather into the mere speculation of land. This is unsustainable, and sooner or later it has to crash. It's a house of cards built on debt and the hope of future profits. When this bubble inevitably bursts, the consequences will be devastating. We've seen this before, and we must act now to prevent it from happening again. Governments need to take decisive action to address this issue. Basically, we need policies dedicated to eliminating real estate speculation. Policies that promote sustainable economic growth, reduce inequality, and provide affordable housing for all. The alternative is a future of economic instability, increasingly expensive and scarce goods, unaffordable housing, social unrest, and widespread suffering. The time to act is now. The burden of rising national debt falls on the people. What's more, the rising cost of housing falls on the shoulders of everyday families. Sadly, the people don't benefit from any of these resources, not from international loans nor from inflated housing prices. Vacant land doesn't pay taxes, and when governments carelessly abandon those resources, they're forced to make cuts. These cuts affect essential public services like infrastructure, healthcare, and education. This creates a situation where people are punished twice. They suffer from the terrible oppression of landowners, and they also suffer from being neglected by their governments. This leaves families even more vulnerable and with indescribable difficulties just to make ends meet. It's a terrible reality. The increase in the price of land and housing makes it difficult to access decent housing. These expensive homes represent a real economic wall, impossible to climb, and young people are the most affected because being excluded from the housing market also excludes them from everything else. Work, food, housing, and so on. This disparity creates a society divided by inequality and resentment. We can and must do better. The constant pursuit of profit in the real estate market creates a dangerous illusion of wealth. As property prices skyrocket, those lucky enough to own properties see their wealth increase, or at least they have that illusion. And it is an illusion because if you have bought land and you are seeing its price rise, that price is the total that your child will have to pay to have the same land as you. Therefore, there is no net wealth. Your children will have to pay the total of that price increase. In this way, the wealth that you had the illusion of possessing will actually be absorbed again by the landowners through your children and your grandchildren and so on for all remaining generations. For this reason, the increase in the price of land, that apparent wealth, is often illusory, built on a foundation of debt and speculation. And the only one who benefits is the one who first appropriated all the land and their successors. As you can see, with real estate speculation, no one benefits, not the people, not the state, not the real economy. The only ones who benefit are the landowners or the real estate speculators. The millions and millions of vacant lots do not pay taxes, nor do they create jobs or provide essential services. It causes the state to divert resources from productive investments just to pay the interest on its loans. Small businesses are struggling to pay rent, stifling innovation. Families are forced to make impossible choices between paying rent or putting food on the table. The economy stagnates as speculation trumps genuine economic activity. We must focus on the real wealth of production and innovation. This requires a fundamental rethink of our economic priorities. When land ownership is concentrated in the hands of a few, it makes inequality worse and holds back economic progress. It creates an uneven playing field that puts most people at a disadvantage. It limits access to affordable housing and makes it harder for families to find stable homes. It stifles the entrepreneurial spirit and undermines democracy. And it creates a society in a constant state of crisis. Section 5. A foundation of sand, when speculation trumps production. In our world, the current economic system often puts speculation ahead of production. Capital, millions and millions of dollars, flows into speculative bubbles like the real estate market, seeking quick profits. This emphasis has created an economy built on a foundation of sand. It generates fake wealth for a few while undermining the real economy. It fuels economic instability, leading to financial crises. We must focus on abolishing real estate speculation and on long-term investment in the real economy. All loans should be dedicated solely to production, investing in education, infrastructure, and research and development. It's time to rebuild our economy on a foundation of solid rock. Section 6. Breaking the vicious cycle. Taxing vacant land for the common good. A powerful tool to address the interconnected crises of housing affordability, speculation, and underinvestment in the real economy is a tax on vacant lots of $200 a year per lot. This policy, often called a land value tax, would tax the value of the land itself, excluding the value of any improvements made on it. By taxing vacant land at its highest and best use value, we can create a powerful incentive for landowners to either develop their land productively or sell it to someone who will. This would discourage land hoarding, a major driver of speculation and artificial scarcity in the housing market. The revenue generated from a land value tax could be used to fund essential public services, or it could even be used to eliminate all other taxes that discourage economic activity. Section 7, a breather, how this policy eases the burden. Using a land value tax could really change our communities and make life better for everyday people. It would make owning a home more affordable because it discourages holding onto land that isn't being used and prevents prices from getting too high. Instead of property prices going through the roof, families would have a real chance to own a home. There would be less pressure on renters because there would be more affordable places to live. This would especially help young people who want to settle down and build a future in their own communities. This policy wouldn't just make housing more affordable, it would also free up money that families are currently spending on their increasingly expensive housing costs. Families could use this extra money to support local businesses, invest in their children's education, or simply enjoy a better quality of life. Section 8, a chain reaction of opportunities, from construction to small business. The good things from a land value tax would go way beyond just housing. When we build on empty land, we need more construction workers, more building supplies, and lots of other things. This creates jobs, makes paychecks bigger, and helps the economy grow. Small businesses would do better because families would have more money to spend. Everyone would benefit from using land in a smarter and fairer way. Plus, a land value tax encourages investment in our communities because it wouldn't tax buildings or improvements. People would want to take care of their property and make it look nice, leading to better and more lively communities. Section 9. Investing in our future, education, infrastructure, and innovation. The money from a land value tax could be strategically invested in our collective future. Instead of going into speculative bubbles or being used to prop up an unsustainable status quo, these funds could be used to strengthen the foundations of a just and prosperous society. We could invest in a high-quality education for all, from early childhood to college and beyond. We could rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, creating jobs and laying the foundation for a more sustainable future. We could support scientific research and technological innovation, driving progress and improving our quality of life. The possibilities are endless when we prioritize the common good over private profit. By redirecting resources towards productive investments in our people and our future, we can create a more just, prosperous, and sustainable society for all. Section 10, towards a more equitable society. By eliminating all taxes that punish the productive activities of people like entrepreneurship, saving, trade, and so on, and gradually replacing them with a single tax on the pure value of land. We're not just talking about economics, but also social justice. We must stop penalizing all those productive activities of mankind. The current tax system is outdated and unfair in two ways. As mentioned, it penalizes hard work, saving, and entrepreneurship. But on the other hand, it also rewards the unproductive ownership of land and urban lots by not charging them anything. That's why all these harmful taxes must disappear. This idea, although controversial, could radically transform our society and economy. First, it's important to understand what the elimination of all taxes would imply. Currently, citizens and businesses face a terribly complex and bureaucratic tax burden, which includes taxes on income, consumption and property, among many others. By simplifying this system and establishing a single tax on land, bureaucracy could be reduced and tax compliance facilitated. One of the most significant benefits of this proposal is the elimination of real estate speculation. It's true, it would eliminate the great obstacle that prevents societies from prospering freely. In all cities around the world, the excessive increase in housing prices has led to an affordability crisis. By taxing land ownership fairly, a more efficient and responsible use of resources would be encouraged, thus promoting sustainable urban development. Furthermore, by establishing a single tax on land, a more stable and predictable source of income for the state could be generated. This would allow funding essential public services such as education, health and infrastructure, without the need to resort to international loans or additional taxes that disproportionately affect citizens. The implementation of this system could mark the beginning of a new era of prosperity. By reducing the tax burden on labor and production, investment and entrepreneurship would be encouraged. People would have more incentives to innovate and create, which could result in sustained economic growth and job creation. We have several complete videos on this topic on YouTube or TikTok. I invite you to delve deeper there. Continuing, by eliminating all taxes, it's about creating a society where everyone has the same opportunities for success, regardless of their background, circumstances, or physical ability. By abolishing real estate speculation, it's about ensuring that everyone has access to safe and affordable housing, a fundamental human right that is increasingly out of reach for many. It's about creating a level playing field for small businesses and entrepreneurs, fostering innovation and economic opportunities for all. It's about building a society where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential, not one where the deck is stacked in favor of a privileged few. Section 11. A call to action. Building a future where everyone has a place. The challenges we face are significant, but not impossible to overcome. We have the tools and the knowledge to create a fairer and more just society. A society where everyone has a place to call home and the opportunity to thrive. Implementing a land value tax is a bold but necessary step in that direction. It's time to challenge the status quo, to demand better for ourselves and for future generations. Let's work together to build a future where everyone has a place, a future where prosperity is shared and opportunities abound. In conclusion, the idea of eliminating all taxes and replacing them with just a single tax on land presents a unique opportunity to transform our economy and society. If implemented, it could lead to unprecedented prosperity. We invite you to reflect on this topic and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for joining us for this analysis. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on economics and society. Let's build a better world together. Until next time, the time to act is now.